Hey everyone, another random product review. This time just some really cheap miniature scissors. I want this because I want to have in my airsoft bag. I have to cut things every now and then, tape, electrical tape and stuff like that. So these are really cheap. It's kind of weird that I'm even reviewing this, but I don't want more garbage in the world. If these are junk, I'm going to say don't buy them. Dimensionally this thing is, boy, around 48 millimeters long with the white handles, about 13 wide, and then at this widest height I would say it's around here. That's around 17-ish. Alright, so very, very portable, of course. For comparison, these are some small scissors, as you can see, and then I would call these normal scissors. So look how small this thing is, right? Very, very portable. You're not going to be making dresses with this though. So both sides, slide this forward, and you might want it to end there, but I think you have to push it all the way forward. Yeah, so if you push it all the way up, or even further like that, now you're exposing almost all this edge. And so that cutting edge exposed is about 22 millimeters in length. Alright. It's rounded off, so you're not going to poke yourself and bleed if this should open in your pocket. And there's some sort of spring in here that makes it want to stay open, which is nice. I find this keychain thing annoying. I find these ball keychains are useless. They break very often, so I'm going to just remove this. Get this out of here. Okay. If I was to actually put this on a keyring, I would suggest you switch to a stronger thing than that. Granted, it is plastic, so it might, with enough force, you'll just break through that plastic. Okay, a little preview of what's to come here. This little Sienta box. Okay, so you're colliding with the handle, obviously. Let me try up here. If I push it further in, now it just doesn't want to cut cardboard because it's just too much collision here. And look, it's starting to push it back to close it, so not very good with cardboard. I was cutting some other stuff earlier. So just a regular piece of paper. Now we can cut very well. Cut S-curves. You just gotta, close the handle a bunch of times. So I would say that's pretty effective on normal paper. What about bubble wrap? This is 3 layers of bubble wrap. No, not good at all. So what's happening is it's getting in between the blades. The blades are not strong enough sideways. You see? The plastic handle. It's just not the very strong joint. In fact, the pivot joint is literally plastic, so you can't expect it to be a strong pair of scissors. Little Hot Wheels cardboard here. Let's just give it another chance. Now, oddly, this cardboard is working better. Maybe it just has to be flat. Although still, pretty rough cuts because I feel like some of it's getting caught up in between the blades. You see, it's not very sharp. Padded envelope. At least I could make an initial cut, but oh, look at this. So this padded envelope, yeah, it seems to be better on this one than that other bubble wrap. Weird. So paper / padded envelope. So a little plastic, a little paper. Getting to that plastic though, I feel like it's getting caught up in the gap again. See, it just doesn't want to cut. No, not happening. It's highly improbable it's going to go through this thick cardboard, but you never know. Tape, cardboard, nope. Just cardboard, possible, but see, you're going to have to start bending it out of the way to make the handle clear. So, not really intended for that purpose. An actual thin plastic bag. If it's thin, no, it just gets in between the blade. So in general, I would say this is not good with plastic. It's just too pliable, and the blades literally just separate apart, I guess, too much. Of course, I'm always wrong, so let's try this plastic. Look at this. Now I'm wrong. So this is a much more rigid plastic, and it works fine. Yeah, strange. But this one is so soft, it doesn't want to cut that at all. But paper on that softness? The paper gives it some backing. So very, very interesting. Yeah. Anyhow, real scissors, because it's a strong metal pivot is keeping the gap tight so it doesn't have an issue, right? All in all, I would say it's pretty good for its size. Just be careful or mindful that it's not really meant for plastic, soft plastic at least. There actually is a metal pivot here though, never mind. So the actual scissor pivot is metal. It's just the handle pivot is plastic. But you saw me try to cut that plastic stuff and it didn't do a great job, at least some of them. So that's it. Thanks for watching. I'll leave a link if it's of interest, but do what you want.